Hello traders, welcome to the free video. So tonight my focus is Peloton. Why Peloton? Well, there's a variety of reasons. I mean, it's a recent IPO, it has a lot of high short interest, it has an earnings report coming up, LeBron James decided to post about it on Instagram, all these reasons. Last one's a little bit of a joke, but the main reason why I'm interested in this is because it is a COVID stock. It does have a lot of relative strength. It has a lot of positive volume and mainly the high short interest, okay? So when something has high short interest, especially when it's a recent IPO, it has a lot of high short interest, a lot of people betting against it, and it's so close to the previous all-time high, so close, guys. $36, really. I know 38.08 is the all-time high, but that's a wick, so I really count this area right about here. A little bit more importantly, so what happens is when momentum starts trading higher, which by the way, most of the time it does when there's an earnings report coming because short sellers don't want to be short when it's a quarter that a lot of people have likely been buying a Peloton. You typically see this rally going into the report, and I don't know what the actual report is going to do, but if it moves even by $4, which by the way, the expected move on the report is plus or minus $4. If it moves by $4, which is just what's expected, that is going to be a new all-time high for this stock. And there's nothing worse for short sellers than new all-time highs. So I've been in this stock for about a week or so. I think I got in somewhere around here, about $31 or so. Currently, we're seeing a lot of positive volume and momentum continuing to trend higher. We're also currently gapping up just ever so slightly overnight, and we have multiple squeezes setting up here. So what am I doing with this? Well, number one, the earnings report is on the 6th after market, so we basically have 2 more days for a continued momentum trade with this. If this thing gaps up tomorrow, it'll likely keep going directly into the report. So that provides one opportunity to do just like a short 1 to 2 day trade, just with some of this momentum, short sellers covering. But what is really my favorite is what if this comes right up to this high right before earnings and then the report is good. This thing will likely just take off. So an example is Chegg. So Chegg, very similar situation. This is what I would consider a COVID stock. They have online tutors. So definitely something that is kind of built to survive in our current environment. You had a lot of positive movement right before the reports, very typical with something that we see with high short interest, Corona stock. And then today we had this little burst, right before the report. And then guess what happened? Well, you were right below that previous high, okay? Previous high, I know it was at 48.22, but I'm really looking around this level, 45, okay? The thing had an expected move of $6, and currently, right now, it's up just a little bit over that, but you know what? 51.37 is gonna make it a new all-time high. And when the short sellers that were brave enough to hold through an earnings report wake up tomorrow, they're going to be like, oh man, this is not enjoyable. So most likely that'll continue rallying tomorrow as the short sellers cover. So that's basically what I'm looking at with Peloton. I am long Chegg as well. So I do think Peloton's good for a short-term trade, and then I'll probably trade the report too, but most importantly, I'm looking for a move after the report. So how do you trade these? Well, I have it in my other account actually, but with Peloton for the short-term moves, typically I look at the Delta 70s. So I really like Delta 70s. Delta 50s can be good if you get a huge move. And then as far as after the report, once the report is over, this high IV is going to be just squashed. And so these options are going to be a lot cheaper. And so then what's going to happen is if it keeps moving, I usually wait about 15 minutes after the open, after the report has come out, and then I look to buy some Delta 50s. So if I get a continuation move after the fact, that is definitely one of my favorite ways to play it. So, there's a lot of there's a lot of uncertainty out there, but I do have a pretty strong list of hot COVID stocks that I've been looking at. I just posted these today for my mastery program. I usually post a weekly watch list in my mastery program. And this is, showing that we have a ton of tickers that are we got a lot of consolidation. We've got positive trend. So even though the market's on pretty shaky ground, there's still plenty of opportunity out there. So the last thing I want to tell you about is my good friend Henry is going to be having the live trading for his class this week. So we had really good feedback on the class. Everybody loved it. It was great. And he's going to be continuing on with the class with live trading this week. So if you still want to join, if you're, wandering around your house looking for things to do, just like me, definitely join him. You can catch the recordings of the class that he did on Saturday. You can go to simplertrading.com/spread. And then you can get in time for the live trading. So I hope you check it out. Other than that, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one.